Good morning everyone. Today we are going to learn about pedigree analysis. If in the examination a particular pedigree chart is given, how we are going to find out which kind of inheritance it is? Let us understand today how to solve such problems. First thing, when a chart is given, you have to check whether it is cytoplasmic inheritance or not. What is cytoplasmic inheritance? You know that when there is fusion of sperm with the egg, there will be formation of zygote, further it will develop into fetus. Hence, in the egg of the mother, there will be mitochondria in the cytoplasm. These mitochondria present in the cytoplasm will be carrying their DNA. These DNA will be having genes. These genes will be inherited as such to the offsprings, which means any character present in the mother, it is inherited as it is. Such inheritance is known as cytoplasmic inheritance. How to find out? If mother is normal, all her childs are normal, then it is cytoplasmic inheritance. In case if mother is affected, then all her children will be affected, then it is cytoplasmic inheritance. In case if mother is affected, but even if her one child is normal, or if mother is normal, even if her one child is affected, then it is not a cytoplasmic inheritance. You have to go to the second step. Second step is you have to find out Y linked inheritance. In a given pedigree chart, if all females are normal, which means only males are affected, females are normal, then it is Y-linked inheritance. If in the chart, if female is affected, it is not a Y-linked inheritance. You have to go to the step 3. Step 3, very important point. All affected offsprings will be having affected parents. If affected offsprings is having affected parent, then if it is there, then it is an dominant trait, dominant inheritance. Whereas if affected offsprings are not having affected parents, then it is recessive inheritance. Now in dominant inheritance, you have to find out whether it is X-linked dominant or autosomal dominant. How to find out? If it is a dominant character, you have to consider male. If it is a recessive character, you have to consider a female. In a dominant character, take a male, affected male. If it is having affected mother and all affected daughter, then it is dominant X-linked. If those criteria are there, then it is X-linked dominant. If affected male is not having affected mother or all affected daughter, if that statement it is not obeying, then it is autosomal dominant. Next, come to the recessive. If offsprings are not having affected parent, it is recessive character. There you have to consider female. Affected female must have an affected father and all affected son. That is the criteria. If this criteria is obeyed by the particular chart, then it is X-linked recessive. If affected female is having normal father, or if affected female is having normal sons, then it is, or if any of this criteria is not obeyed, then it is autosomal recessive. Now using these points, we are going to solve 4 pedigree charts as I have shown in the board. First chart, look at the first chart. How to solve it? Whether it is cytoplasmic inheritance. Cytoplasmic inheritance states that normal mother must have normal offspring. That criteria is not there. Hence, we can go to second point, Y-linked inheritance. There should be, all females should be normal, but here affected females are there. Hence, it is not Y-linked inheritance. Third point, affected offspring. Let us take one affected offspring. Affected offspring will be having affected parents. Yes, it is there. Everywhere you have to check. Affected offspring, affected parent, affected offspring, affected parent, affected offspring, affected parent. Everywhere it is obeying. Hence, yes, it is an dominant trait. Now our job is to find out whether it is autosomal dominant or X-linked dominant. How to find out? As I said, affected male you have to take. Affected male must have affected mother and all affected daughters. Here affected male, his daughters are not shown. Hence, if it is not shown, you don't consider. affected male is not having affected mother also. Hence, all these criteria it is not obeying at all. It is an autosomal dominant trait. This is how we can solve. I hope you understood. Now we'll move on to the second chart. In the second chart, first, cytoplasmic inheritance, you have to check. Normal mother, affected offspring. So it is not cytoplasmic. Y-linked inheritance. All females should be normal, but here there is affected female. Hence it is not Y-linked. Next, third point. Affected offsprings must have affected parent. Affected offspring is not having affected parent, it is having normal parent. Hence it is recessive trait. Whether X-linked recessive or autosomal recessive, let us check. Whenever recessive comes, take male. Take female. Affected female must have an affected father. If you consider here affected female, father is not affected. Affected female must have all sons affected. That criteria is also not there. Hence, it is not X-linked recessive. It is autosomal recessive trait. Chart number 3. First step, cytoplasmic inheritance. Affected mother must have all affected children, but here there are normal children, hence it is not cytoplasmic. Y-linked inheritance. Female must be normal, but here affected, it is not Y-linked. Third point, affected offsprings must have affected parent. It is there. Affected offspring is having affected parent. It is there. Affected offspring, this is affected male. Affected offspring must have affected parent. But look at here. Here it is not obeying. Offspring is affected, but the parents are normal. Hence, it is not obeying with our statement. Therefore, it is a recessive trait. In recessive trait, now what kind of recessive trait? Take a female. Affected female, let me take this particular female. Let me take this particular female. Affected female should have affected father. Yes, it is obeying. And all her sons must be affected. Here, sons are not shown in this particular, regarding this particular female. But let us check this female. Affected female is having all her sons affected. Only 2 sons are there. 2 sons are also affected. Hence, it is obeying with our statement. It is an X-linked recessive. Fourth chart. Normal female must have normal children, but it is affected. Hence, it is not cytoplasmic inheritance. All females must be normal. It is not there. Hence, it is not Y-linked inheritance. Affected offspring must have affected parent. Yes, it is obeying. Affected offspring having affected parent is obeying. Affected offspring is having affected parent. Yes, affected offspring, affected parent, affected offspring, affected parent, affected offspring, affected parent, normal offspring, normal parent. So everywhere affected offspring is having affected parent. Hence, it is a dominant trait. In a dominant trait, take a male. Any male can be taken. Let us take this particular male. Male, if the mother of the male is affected male must have affected mother. Yes, it is there. Affected male must have all daughters affected. This particular male is not having daughter, so let us not consider. But look at this male. Affected male is having affected mother, correct. Affected male is having all affected daughter. 2 daughters are there, both are affected. Hence, it is an X-linked dominant trait. So this is how we can solve pedigree chart easily by using these tricks. I hope you liked it. Thank you.